Ooh, you can really dance. Ryan Gosling Barbie movie. Okay, guys, Ryan Gosling is going to be Ken in the new Barbie movie, but we are also going to be talking about Obi-Wan Season 2 possibly happening, maybe? Who knows? Henry Cavill as Bond, that would be cool. And the new teaser for Blonde is out, the Marilyn Monroe movie with Ana de Armas. But we start off our stories today by talking about Ryan Gosling as Ken. Now, this broke yesterday, and I did a short video on it, but I wanted to talk about it again today because, well, this is the talk of the town, guys. We can't get away from it. And yes, we saw that image yesterday. And let's take a look at this headline. Ryan Gosling debuts Ken for Barbie movie. Beach blonde, spray tan, and personalized underwear. Now, when I saw this image yesterday, yeah, I thought it was kind of fun, but I never looked closely enough, I guess, to look at his gitch to see that it says Ken. I apologize, I was not that scrutinous. I did look at his hair, and yes, I compared it to Barney Rubble from the Flintstones, but people are having fun with this. And that's why I wanted to start off with the show today, guys. Now, the Barbie movie doesn't come out until next year, and it's also going to have a big cast in it. So let's take a look at the cast for Barbie. Now, we know that it's going to be Margot Robbie, who looks good as Barbie. Plot yet not announced. Expected by IMDb, it says expected July 21st. So maybe it'll get shifted around, but who knows? I'm liking what I'm seeing from this movie. I'm morbidly curious to see the Barbie movie because it's got Emma Mackey, Will Ferrell, Michael Cera, yeah, Kate McKinnon, Simu Liu, and I talked about that in my video yesterday too. Shang-Chi himself is going to be, apparently, it's rumored that the Barbie movie will have several Barbies and several Kens that factor into the plot, and Simu Liu is going to be playing one of those versions of Ken. So I just thought it was fun. Okay, so here on the Warner Bros. Twitter page, it says there, July 21st, 2023, only in theaters. So that's kind of fun. I think this movie just looks like it's going to be fun, and that's what you want from a summer movie, right? I never thought that here I am at my age saying that, yes, I want to go and check out a Barbie movie. Oddly enough, yes, I do. All right, guys, you're watching Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. If you're joining me in the live chat, I'll always talk with you guys in between the stories that we have listed here. And if you're watching us afterwards, you know, well, it's a daily show, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. And all of these stories will be linked in time codes for you guys in the description and comment section below. Okay, let's just continue on, because that's the way that I like to roll here, guys. Pinocchio. Well, we know that Disney's going to be making a version of Pinocchio, and we know that Guillermo del Toro is going to be making a version of it that comes out this year, both. So people have begun to compare, and when we saw the Disney version of the Pinocchio, we oddly didn't see Pinocchio. We saw him sitting on the bench, but it was mostly Tom Hanks talking to, making his wish. And people are going to compare this, and I think rightly so, because the Del Toro version here, as you can see, is going to be kind of like that stop motion kind of look to it. But I think the Del Toro version is going to resonate perhaps with an older audience, a more matured audience. It's the one thing that the Disney version has going for it is it's going to be able to have all the musical numbers, which the Del Toro version will not have. So they're not going to have Wish Upon a Star in the Del Toro version. But when we saw those images that broke from the Variety there, I think it's going to have that unique Del Toro feeling to it that is going to make it worthwhile to go over and take a look at this version of Pinocchio. Looks like Geppetto's up there doing a statue or working on a Jesus up on the cross. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to have that different feel to it. And I like Del Toro's work. I think most people do. That's why he won Best Director and Picture for Shape of Water. And this Jiminy Cricket actually looks like a cricket, so that's going to be very interesting. And I think the voice cast for this version of Pinocchio will blow people's minds away too. Yeah, so people are going to be talking about this for the months to come as both of these movies come out. Let's see. The Pinocchio cast for the that's going to be on Netflix. So Guillermo del Toro's version is going to be on Netflix. It's going to have a voice cast of Ewan McGregor, who's hot right now with the Obi-Wan series, David Bradley, Christoph Waltz, and Tilda Swinton. She's always awesome, guys. Always awesome. So those are some of just my thoughts on a cursory glance of what the Pinocchio movies are. Yeah, people are going to compare it for sure, and they'll be trying to say, well, one's better than the other, which is inevitable. It's inevitable. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Okay. Blonde trailer, teaser. First look at Ana de Armas, Marilyn Monroe, in an NC-17 movie for Netflix. So we may not be able to watch this one with a live full watch along, but they've released the first teaser. And I might do a full reaction of this that'll be out on the channel later, because there are some things that I'm going to talk about from the trailer here that we'll take a look at. It's a really short teaser, but September 23rd is when this comes out. And yeah, so it's a take on a Marilyn Monroe story, and they don't say it really well here in the Hollywood Reporter article. So let's pull up the IMDb for it before we take a look at the teaser. A fictionalized chronicle of the inner life of Marilyn Monroe. So that's a key word there, guys. Fictionalized. So it's racy, and from what I heard, they're going to be talking about some of the salaciousness of some of the things. So Ana de Armas is Norma Jean, Adrian Brody's a playwright, Bobby Cannavale, Garrett Dillahunt, Sarah Paxton. Anybody else that jumps out at me here in the cast for this movie? Not really, guys. But we've seen these images that debuted where she looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's got to be the blonde hair, right? It just changes everybody's complexion if you go blonde. We saw that with Ryan Gosling and Ken, like his blonde hair. It's just kind of like, yeah, there's something about blondes. So it's only appropriate that they call this movie Blonde. And we'll take a look at some of the images from this. So it's not going to be black and white, but they go over her getting ready to get jeez. Yeah, nice. That was unintentional, guys. That to be honest, yes, we know that the skirt blows up on her when she steps over that grating. Yeah, that's going to be a most pause moment in the trailer, based on the novel by Joyce Carol Oates. Now, I do want to play a small portion of this trailer because it's very, very effective. And it happens towards the end, where if you ever had doubts in this, from Andrew Dominic, we'll pull up his resume here in a moment. I think that this trailer looked awesome. And yeah, it looks like she's in Woe there. So I think, yeah, and it's the final shot that sold me on this, because she's in a dressing room. So maybe it is going to be black and white. But we saw some color stuff there, right? Didn't we? Yeah. We saw some color stuff there. Yeah. So this final shot here is what sold me, and I hope it sells you guys, because she's looking sad and depressed while getting ready to either go out and be on the red carpet or be on stage. But I want to share this moment with you guys, because this is what sold me with the performance. So we'll play this part. Yeah, that transition of her feeling sad, but then she looks in the mirror And just like that, she transforms to putting on the show of being happy and smiling, even though inside she's broken. And most people will pay attention to that transition, but this is effective directing. Her, like, sitting here, doesn't change. She doesn't change from being sad. So it's only in her head that she's worked up to about being happy. And it almost, even now, it's almost giving me kind of goosebumps thinking about this. Oddly enough, I'm not going to play the sound here again, but yeah, see, she's smiling there. So her head should be tilted up, but she's not. In the foreground here, you can see that she's not. And that is top quality storytelling in my books. So this teaser for Blonde with Ana de Armas, that we know it's going to be racy, it's going to be spicy, has won me over. And I want to check this out for sure. When is this supposed to come out? Let's just confirm this. September 23rd. September 23rd. So, yeah. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this Blonde teaser. It's on Netflix, September 23rd. Yep. Let's take a look at some of the snapshot comments here. When Anna was announced for this casting, I didn't see her as Marilyn at all, but wow, she's absolutely going to crush it. And I do think so. Watching that finale there, that snippet, that was a perfect teaser. I'm all in. Yes, for sure. Damn. Anna's getting her first Oscar nomination for this. And it's got potential as a teaser, guys, for Blonde. That won me over for sure. She will win the Oscar. So she's perfect. So people are liking this. And because it's NC-17, it's not going to have the same kind of concerns, I hope, that the Elvis movie is sort of getting. And saying that it's a fictionalized chronicle. Fictionalized is very key, because you don't want to give people the wrong impressions, like sort of what the Elvis movie is. The early criticisms I heard from that is that people are saying, well, they don't go deep enough into some of the bad things that happened. But we'll see that when that comes out next week, guys. The Elvis movie, we'll leave that for next week. But the Blonde teaser, for me, I thought it was very effective. It worked very well in my books. What do you guys think? Let me know. Follow me on all the social media handles there too, guys, because sometimes you get a little sneak peek behind the scenes of some of the things that go on here on the channel. So I'll be checking that out for sure. Now we got to go down a little bit of a dark road here, guys. So for the next two stories, I apologize. But I'll try to add some levity to it. Chris Evans is going to be in the new movie Lightyear that opens up this weekend, and he's come out and responded to some of the critics who have a certain point of view. And I'm not going to even dignify it by pronouncing this word, but we know that Lightyear is going to be banned in Middle East countries like Saudi Arabia. And Chris Evans has come out to defend his movie, which is cool in my books. Lightyear critics are idiots who will die off like dinosaurs. Well said. Unfortunately, in my prognostication, I think it's going to be another 100 years or so that we're going to have to put up with this BS from people. Because it's just going to become, eventually it will become a widely accepted understanding that people are just born that way. You're born that way. It's not a choice that you can or cannot do. Yes, and I hope that eventually they will die off like dinosaurs, but it's going to take time. I foresee it for another 100 years maybe. And so he says in a quote from Reuters about this movie, and people are championing it, and people are saying that it's a good movie, Lightyear. It opens up this weekend, and I'm not going to go out and see it this weekend, I think, because I'm going to go and see it with my niece when I can. But it's holding at 82% by critics, with 109 reviews as of 12:15 p.m. on Thursday, June 16th. No audience scores in. Let's take a look at some of the snapshots for this. And then I'll bewilder you with my future predictions. If Lightyear is Andy's Star Wars, what an impoverished childhood Andy had. And that's a rotten review by the Catholic World Report. Catholic. Ooh. From the Washington Post, another one says here, meandering comic flourishes and underdeveloped climax make it hard to suspend disbelief on multiple levels, ours as well as Andy's. But Andy's not even in Lightyear, guys. See, people are trying to compare it to Toy Story, and they're like, well, are we going to see other characters from Toy Story in this? Guys, this is the movie that's Buzz Lightyear, the toy, is based off of. This is his story about the man that the toy is based off of. So some people just can't seem to wrap their head around that concept, just like the way that they can't wrap their head around the concept that it may have a same-sex kiss in it. But let's take a look at some of the good reviews here. Lightyear, directed by Angus MacLean from a script by Jason Headley, aims to please by pandering to be good enough entertainment. As such, it succeeds in a manner more in line with their tier Disney animation than their top-shelf Pixar. And that's a good review? Man, I don't like the tone. I don't like your tone, man, in that from the New York Times. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, it's going to be opening up, and I think it's going to be a big hit at the box office. It's probably going to unseat Jurassic World Dominion, which isn't faring as well, but I totally agree with Chris Evans here to come out and defend it. And, yeah, guys, you know, they said that in Jurassic World Dominion 2, that there was going to be characters like that, and she just has like an off-the-cuff comment in it where she says like, yeah, I have a thing for redheads too, and it's kind of like, it barely comes up, guys. It's just, yeah, I forget sometimes how far ahead of the curve I believe that where we are. Like, I live so far ahead of everything that for me, all that stuff, it doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, so, and then as I said, in 100 years, let's be audacious here. I don't even think that'll be an issue at all, because I don't think that we'll be looking like this. I think we'll be in computers then. I think we'll be able to download our brains into computers, so we'll be able to free ourselves from the flesh that we are. That's what I think. In 100 years, maybe. Our Glass Vikings in the live chat says, Blonde looks to be a powerful portrayal of an American icon. The image of her transitioning to laughing in the mirror is often repeated in mental health adverts. Oh, really? Joaquin does something similar in Joker. Yeah, that transition. Blonde, I think, it's definitely on my radar. You'll have to forgive me, guys. It's like a plus 30 something outside with high humidity. So it's like living in I do have my air conditioning on today. So if you hear the fan going in the background, I apologize for the background noise, but it's just something we're going to have to work through in the summertime here. Okay, with that being said, we're still down a little bit. We got to talk about Ezra Miller, who is, well, he's deleted his Instagram. Ezra Miller deletes Instagram account after seeming to taunt authorities looking for him. Yes, and we saw reports the other day that he had, well, I guess he did kind of abscond with well, she was underage at the time he started to, what is that word, groom. So he groomed this young person to go along with them. Yes, Ezra Miller is a them, they person. So I'll respect that, but I'm not going to respect too much more from Ezra Miller as this kind of stuff keeps coming up. And I'm talking about it because it's not looking good for the Flash movie. Flash movie. Forgive me. It's not looking good for the Flash movie, and the studio needs to do something. You know, it's not like a case where Vince McMahon has to pay $3 million to cover up an affair. It's not like that. This is a lot more serious, and he can't be found right now if he's deleting all of his social medias like Instagram. I have two things that I think that the studio needs to do with The Flash. They need to go in and reshoot the ending so that it'll be handed off to a new person like Dylan O'Brien, who I think would be a perfect casting for him. But Ezra Miller needs to disappear off of the main stage. That's the way I would say it. Because if he groomed this underage person to do whatever they're doing, that they had to go into hiding together, I don't see how the studio can get behind this and still put out this movie. So I would do that. I would replace the actor, reshoot the ending with maybe Michael Keaton to come in to change that up, or I just release it now. And I know that the visual effects would not be done for The Flash, but I would just release it now, and because it's going to be a bomb. I mean, I'm not interested in going to see it now, knowing all of this stuff about him. Them, Ezra Miller. I just, it's going to be hard to look at him. And if he gets convicted on these things, then they really have to do something about it. They just have to either not release it, throw it in the trash can, or go in and reshoot the ending so that they can continue on this franchise. And it's a shame that you got Michael Keaton back for this, and then all of this stuff comes out, and it just, yes, Ezra Miller needs to be deleted from the main stage. That's what I would say. Oh, yeah, and that's about as bad stories that I want to cover for today, because it's Thursday, and I want to keep it a little bit light. Artglass says in the live chat, critics often have throwaway comments and tend to miss the goal with their take on movies. Granted, they're watching several movies a day, so maybe sometimes they get it wrong. I love Jurassic World, by the way. Okay, good. Yeah, you said you were going to go check it out. As I said, there's stuff that's value in Jurassic World Dominion, for sure. I liked it. I like the parts with the newer cast, with Bryce Dallas Howard. I like, as I said, my favorite part of that movie was when they're on their plane and they get that moment between her and Chris Pratt where they say "I love you" to each other. But it's still locusts. Really, locusts are the big problem. Whatever happened to that Joker dinosaur that was supposed to be, the big menace? You remember all those stories we covered that talked about the Joker dinosaur is going to be the big menace of this one, and they gave us locusts. All right, let's get out of that talk. Let's talk about the Equalizer. Equalizer 3 is going to see Dakota Fanning reunite with Denzel Washington. That's cool because they worked together on Men on Fire. So Equalizer 3 casting, Dakota Fanning. We don't see enough of her. We see Elle Fanning around quite a bit, but Dakota, good to see that she's working, and she's going to be on the big screen again with Denzel. Now, I really enjoyed the first Equalizer movie. The second one was kind of meh for me, but hey, if this is shaping up, it looks like Antoine Fuqua is going to be back directing this one, so that's cool. Equalizer 3 is scheduled to be released September 1st, 2023 by Sony Pictures, so it's still a year away from this, guys. Cool. Yeah, I like that, and I like Denzel. I was kind of hoping, for Equalizer 3 that they would bring in Queen Latifah from the show, and they would kind of have to team up or something like that. Well, I just hope they give a nod to it or something. That would have been cool in my books. But Dakota Fanning, you know that they had good chemistry on Man on Fire. So Equalizer 3, Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, that's cool. Obi-Wan Season 2. No, guys, we just did a full live watch along on the channel for Obi-Wan Episode 5. And I really liked that episode quite a bit because we got some flashback scenes in it. But Ewan McGregor has come out and said he really wants to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2. And I hope the fans are liking Episode 5 because I was shocked that people were bashing Episode 4. But it seems like we got the Darth Vader stuff that we saw in Episode 5. We saw flashbacks of young Anakin with Obi-Wan training during the Clone Wars era. So that's cool. And to know that it almost feels like we're not going to get the conclusion that we were hoping for in this first season. And if Ewan McGregor is up for it, which he says he is, so let's take a look at his quote from GQ. It says, "I really hope we do another. If I could do one of these every now and again, I'd just be happy about it." And we know that, guys, seeing Ewan with his lightsaber, you know he loves playing Obi-Wan. He's really good at using the lightsaber, and seeing those flashbacks with him and Anakin, I would hope that the studio, Disney there, Lucasfilm, sees that resonate with the fans and give us more of that. Because as a defense here, guys, I will say that some series, even though that this one was intended just to be kind of like a one-off, some series don't find their way until later seasons. They don't fully mature. Like, I'll give you one good example. Star Trek: The Next Generation didn't really find its place, its full footing until season 3. Recently with Picard too. First season was rough, so this one was a little bit rough. Perhaps it wasn't quite the story that fans were looking for, and it doesn't look like we're going to get kind of those questions answered of like him still believing that Anakin, they're still good in him. Because remember that line in Return of the Jedi when he says, Obi-Wan once thought as you do, when he was talking with Luke. It sounded like Obi-Wan at one time tried to turn him back. And it seems like that we're not going to get that in this season, because they haven't even mentioned it. We saw that he just learned that he's still alive. So the door's going to be wide open there for them to do more work. And I hope that a lot of people liked episode 5 with the flashbacks, and we saw Vader throw down very menacing with his Force abilities, fighting without a lightsaber. Oh, great episode. I love that episode. Still one of my favorites of the season so far, I would say. But if Ewan's up for season 2, guys, I would be totally up for it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Because I'm really curious about this one. And we saw that there's going to be like theatrical releases for this and stuff too. But we'll have to see how that works out. Equalizer 3 was fantastic. Fantastic, long overdue, Ardglass says. Number 2 was okay, but Pedro Pascal brought Pedro Pascal to a wider audience. Was he in the second one? Ooh. Yeah. We'll have to see how that goes on. All right. Henry Cavill as James Bond? Really? Henry Cavill himself fuels James Bond casting demand with new video. So, I think he was up in talks for a new James Bond, but if we're not going to get our Idris Elba one-off, then I think, well, I guess he posted this to his one of his stories, an Instagram story, and it looks like it's a commercial for something. He walks out of a building and you see James Bond's car there, so I think we can get away with looking at it.
Of course.
Yeah, he looks at the car. He kind of, and then he walks off. So that's the James Bond car. And it does look like it's from a commercial for another car. He looks back at it. Or maybe it's a suit jacket commercial. I don't know. It's a commercial for something, it looks like, that he shot. But it's a kind of a interesting little peek there. His look at it.
Of course.
He looks at it.
Always
kind of, yeah, cool. But yeah, I'd be up for a Henry Cavill Bond. We know that he's going to be in the upcoming Highlander reboot. It's Connor McLeod, and everybody, I'm sure, still are championing him to be in another Superman role. He's going to be in Enola Holmes 2 as back as Sherlock Holmes. So that's cool too. So he's got a lot on his plate right now. But I'd be up for him as Bond. Yeah, the Aston Martin. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Just kind of a fun little story to help lighten things up a little bit. Star Trek 4. Yeah. Okay, so Simon Pegg has come out and said that Star Trek 4 has one big hurdle to get to be getting made. Well, he was at FedCon, whatever that is. He had this big, long quote about the Star Trek 4 that's supposed to go into production by this fall and be out next Christmas. But I don't see it happening, guys. So let's take a look at his quote here. A fourth movie is planned. Obviously, the big problem with that is that there are a group of actors who are all busy and all have things going on. We have to find a moment when we can all be together. As soon as they can figure that out, yeah, that'll happen. I'm sure we'll do it. I'd love to get back together with those guys. It's bittersweet for us now because we lost Anton Yelchin. And that really, it's hard. Yeah. And Anton Yelchin, if I haven't said it before, it's one of those Hollywood deaths that I still get angry and upset about when I think about that. Because he was a very talented actor. And he had a bright future ahead of him. And he wasn't into the drugs or the alcohol or anything like that. It was a stupid parking gate that crushed him. And I just like, it's just so, yeah. I still get upset about it because it's one of those things, bittersweet. Yeah, that's a good word that Simon Pegg uses there. It would be bittersweet because they would have to recast it. You can't make a Star Trek movie without Chekhov. And that's kind of why I was hoping that they were done with this iteration of Star Trek. Because you made your 3 movies. You made your 3. And the box office numbers were going down anyway. I don't see how you're going to be doing any good with this. Maybe it's because J.J. Abrams, if he comes back and actually directs this one, he needs some kind of work because he just got some of his work canceled by the big boss there at WB, David Zaslav. So, yeah. So, the hurdle of getting all the schedules together, having to deal with whatever happens with the Chekhov character, there are some of the things that are bogging down Star Trek 4. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Star Trek 4? Let me know in the comments. Arglass says in the live chat, Obi-Wan Episode 5 has really raised the bar. It was heartfelt in parts, and Moses Ingram has proven to be a good actor. Yeah, that scene when they were talking at the doors, and she was talking about what she was going to do. Yeah, that was a good scene. Tala was a brilliant character throughout Sadly No More. Yeah, and she was a really good actress too. Tala. Sorry guys, it's dry in here. Okay. Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges has been on a late night talk show, and he's talking about his upcoming project, The Old Man. And as we know that he was battling cancer, and he had a COVID battle that he went through. So 72 years old, and he's one of my favorite actors. Hell or High Water is good. Tron, as I said. Lots of good performances. True Grit. So he says that after being on chemo, he contracted that C word that I won't mention. And he spent nearly 6 weeks in the hospital, man. And if he went at 72, that's still a little bit early for him. I'm hoping that there's still a few more chapters in his story, for sure. Because, as I said, I'm a big Jeff Bridges fan. So, you know, he says that that's what's going to happen to all of us at some point, and maybe this was my time to go through all of that. Well, I hope it doesn't happen to all of us, but yeah. So he just talks about this on this article over on Hollywood Reporter, talking about his trials and tribulations. So this old man, the old man, is going to be on FX, on the FX network. So kudos, he came through it, but it sounds as if it was quite the battle. But he was on a late night show. I think it was Kimmel, or was it was it Fallon that he was on? I can't remember, but I saw shots of it. So good for him. Jeff Bridges coming through it, and as I said, I still think that he's got a few more chapters that in his story that is yet to be told. You should watch Hearts in Atlantis and Old Thomas back to back. Anton was a great actor. I think I saw Hearts in Atlantis. That was with that other old guy. Why am I not thinking of his name right now? Come on, Hannibal. Anton was a great actor. He's definitely have those rose to the top for a tragic accident. Yeah, he was great. You know what? Maybe we'll take a look at his resume. Let's do that. Let's pause here. That's my show. I can do whatever I want. And we'll take a small tribute here to Anton Yelchin. Because there were some ones that got released afterwards, after he had died. Anthony Hopkins, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, sometimes it's, thinking stuff up on the fly. We Don't Belong Here came out afterwards, and that was a good one. Small, oh, is that the one I'm thinking of? No, maybe that's not the one I was thinking of. There was one where he kind of like goes to a farmhouse, but yeah, he came out with a lot of cool stuff. Green Room is I was harsh on the Green Room when it first came out, and then that's actually the year. Yeah, that's the year that he passed, right? Because I remember when I published my review, then I read the headline that he had passed on, so I kind of changed my view on Green Room quite a bit. The Driftless Area, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, with Zoe Deschanel, because I like Zoe Deschanel, and she's not in enough work. Yeah, that one was good. He falls down in a hole or something, and then he crawls out, and Zoe Deschanel helps him. It's really weird. Kieran Hines. Yeah, that was a good one. Aubrey Plaza. I need to rewatch that one. The Driftless Area. That's one I would say go check that one out, because that one, yeah, great resume of Anton Yelchin for sure. And okay, so let's talk about some other stories there that are not listed here, but they will be in the description below. And yeah, we're slowly rounding out the show here, guys. Chucky Season 2 adds some cast of Gina Gershon and Joe Pantoliano. Joey Pants. Chucky on Sci-Fi in the US. Sci-Fi. I don't think we have Sci-Fi here on my channels. I really need to watch Chucky Season 1 because I heard that it's good. And Joey Pants coming on. Okay, cool. We see and Meg Tilly's going to be in this. That's Meg Tilly right there. Wow. So Jennifer Tilly and Meg Tilly are sisters, I believe. Cool. I haven't seen Meg Tilly in ages. But Gina Gershon is by far one of the most, for me at least, one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. She was in Face Off, guys. You'll recognize her if you saw her. Yeah. And that's cool. She was in Showgirls. Maybe I shouldn't scroll through all these pictures in case of the yeah, she was also in Out of Bounds or something. What was it? With Jennifer Tilly. So that'll be an interesting. So talking about reunions. Yeah. So Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly were in stuff. So Chucky Season 2 is going to wrap up filming by August, I believe. So yeah, I need to check it out because I like Chucky. Not Seed of Chucky, but Curse of Chucky was pretty good. So yeah, Chucky Season 2 is to wrap up this August. And I felt like, yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And if I'm able to find the Sci-Fi Channel, maybe we'll do full live watch-alongs for Season 1. on Saturdays. That's what I'd like to do. When we do our horror weekly roundup show on Saturdays, we can watch an episode of Chucky after, perhaps. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, so that's the new cast. Chucky, season 2. Cool. Cool, man. Fast and Furious. Elena actor reveals stunt she never got to perform. Now, Elsa Pataki played Elena Neves in Fast and Furious, but she wanted to do a stunt. What? That's curious. What kind of stunt did she want to do? Let's take a look. I was always trying to get them to give me a motorcycle and have fun with it, but I couldn't convince them. Well, there she is with The Rock. The Fast and Furious is not that far off from using motorcycles. I mean, come on. Why couldn't you do this for her? That would be cool to see anyway. Yeah, there she is with The Rock. He looks a little bit leaner there for some reason. A little bit young. He's looking young. Maybe it's just the angle. God. Yeah, no, he's not leaner there. Look at his triceps there, just bulging out. God, he has to work hard for that. The Rock has to work hard to maintain that. And he's got to have a fresh, an endless supply of coconut oil to oil up those pipes. But yeah, that would be cool to see, a motorcycle stunt. I just thought that was kind of fun to look at, guys. What do you think about that? Okay, one more story here is that there was a teaser drop for the upcoming Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. Now, this is going to be a series on Paramount Plus, and I watched this trailer, and it's kind of like he plays this mob boss. I got very much vibes of like the flavors of Goodfellas in this, because he's in prison at one point, from the creator of Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan? It's a small teaser, guys, and I totally recommend that you go check it out. Yeah, so he's in prison there. He's getting read up. It looks like he gets let out, but he's talking about how he wanted to be a gangster. And it looks like he goes to meet the bosses or whoever's in charge, and they tell him to go to Tulsa. So he's an older gentleman, and he's like, "Are you serious? Are we supposed to go to Tulsa?" And then it shows him choking some guy out. As I said, it's a very quick teaser, and we're going to watch the ending clip of it here, because this is, again, just like the Blonde teaser. It's the delivery of this that sold me on Tulsa King. Oop. Let's make sure this is normal speed.
New in town? Is it that obvious?
Yeah. Are you new in town? Is it that obvious? Yeah. And it looks like Sylvester Stallone is having fun with this. He's going to have a lot of fun with this. And as I said, he's choking out this guy here. So he's going to be doing some dirty work. He's going to be relaxing, having some coffee or something. Are you new in town?
Is it that obvious?
Yeah. Tulsa King. November 13th on Paramount Plus. Yes. Let's take a look at some of the comments here. Taylor Sheridan, yes, and Sly working together is going to be great. And the fish out of water aspect, yeah, that's what it is. It's the fish out of water aspect should be fun. And Taylor Sheridan is the guy who did Wind River, Hell or High Water, talking about Jeff Bridges. See how things come together, guys? Yeah, that's how that works. Remember some of Sly's forays into dramatic territory like Fist and Copland. That's the Stallone I've always wanted to see more of. And here's hoping in this series we'll give him a nice role to work with. Yeah, for sure. Especially when you see like the narration of him there waking up in the prison, saying that he always wanted to be a gangster and that he hopes that it pays off for him. And it looks like it pays off for him to get out of the jail. And then he's told to go to Tulsa. Tulsa King, guys. What do you guys think? Yeah, there's Taylor Sheridan, his resume. He's done Yellowstone. He wrote for Yellowstone. He wrote Sicario. with Denis Villeneuve. Cool. You got to keep your eye on this guy because he does some great work. Great directing. Yeah, for those who wish me dead. I thought he did Hell or High Water. Am I not thinking of the right guy? Yeah, written by. Oh, so he wrote it. He wrote Hell or High Water. Okay, so that, yeah. Cool, man. Who directed Hell or High Water then? Let's take a look at that since we got time. Great movie, guys. Great movie. Jeff Bridges, David Mackenzie. Okay, but it was written by Taylor Sheridan, and that shows. That shows in the script. Chris Pine, Ben Foster, robbing banks to try to pay off the family's debts. Cool ending too. Very, very powerful ending to that movie. Taylor Sheridan. Cool. So he's going to be doing. He's the guy behind Tulsa King. Cool. It's also got Garrett Hedlund in it. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Okay, guys, I think that's pretty much all the big stories for today. We'll do what we normally do. We'll round this out by taking a look at the old Twitterverse. Arglass says in the live chat, it will be cool to see Sly in a series for a change. Look forward to an engaging story and great character arc from him. Yeah. Tulsa King, I'll keep my eye out for that for sure. One more week to enter a contest to go to Dune? Dune 4K release. Oh, okay. What's this? Something for Hulu? Who's that? Original documentary, Machine Gun Kelly's Life in Pink. Machine Gun Kelly. He's one of the few people who has been awarded a magnificent wife in Megan Fox. And he was in Jackass Forever, too. So, what's that? I hope that's a microphone he's holding. And he's trying to break into the acting gig. So, okay. Yeah. I don't think I've ever listened to one of his songs. But if it comes to the realm of acting, that's my territory. Cool. The teaser for James Morrison's Love My Dad. I don't even know what that is. What is that? I Love My Dad. Happy Father's Day. Coming soon. Zac Efron will star in Dean Durkin's Iron Claw for A24. Based on the true story of Von Erichs. The film follows the rise and fall of the Von Erich family, a dynasty of wrestlers who made a huge impact on the sport in the 60s. Yeah, I like Zac Efron, and I liked him in Firestarter, and I know that some people didn't. Ezra Miller's trending again, guys. It's endless. It's endless. Breaking. Ezra is accused of inappropriate behavior with another 12-year-old. You know what? I'm not even going to read these things anymore because it's just, it bums me out. Patrick Schwarzenegger describes upcoming college set The Boys spin-off. Euphoria meets superheroes. And that's a series I need to watch too, is Euphoria, with because I am a huge Zendaya fan. So it's going to be about drugs and superheroes. Is that what it's going to be about? Which 2022 biopic are you most looking forward to? Elvis, Blonde, or I Want to Dance with Somebody as Whitney Houston? Oh, the Whitney Houston biopic. It's December 21st. I'll tell you this, after that Blonde trailer, I'm still excited for Elvis, though. Yeah, Elvis, that comes out next week, guys. And pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction for that one. Because Austin Butler looks like he nailed the role. But I heard that there was some early concerns that perhaps they pulled some of the punches with it. That they didn't want to go too deep into some of the bad things that happened. But it doesn't look like they're going to hold any of the punches with the Blonde trailer. But as we saw from our accounting, that it's going to be a fictionalized account of some of the events that happened to her. But Ana de Armas, she won me over in that teaser. But I'm still looking forward to Elvis, mostly because of the music. I heard the soundtrack is stellar. So and he just the way that he looks and he acts, it looks like he's really captured that. And Baz Luhrmann with his style and his flair of filming. I think it'll be a spectacle for sure to see, but if you're a Whitney Houston fan, I don't want to detract from that. Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry Darling, starring Florence Pugh and Harry Styles, in theaters September 23rd. Is that a new poster? Hey, what was going on there? There's a plane crashing. Yeah, we saw that. So it's a motion poster. Very ominous. Yeah. So it looks like that's intentional, guys. That's not my YouTube feed there. It looks like there's some other imagery kind of getting factored in there. Yeah. As it gets kind of flipped upside down there. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, we saw from the trailer. My trailer reactions for this is up on the channel right now. That, yeah. Ooh. It's eerie. It's kind of like, is it a cult movie? Is it something about a cult of people? Chris Pine is in it, right, as well. He plays kind of like the cult leader in it. It's weird. Weird, man. I'll be looking forward to that. EGOT winner Jennifer Hudson will host her own talk show. So she's going to be having her own talk show. Well, we know that Ellen is ending, and we know that Wendy Williams is ending. So there's going to be some space for those talk shows. Can't go wrong with Jennifer Hudson. You know that, who else from American Idol has one? Kelly Clarkson has a talk show as well. Okay. Ugh. Ezra Miller again. Can't get, jeez. First look at Peacock series The Resort, starring William Jackson Harper, Kristen Milioti. So they're playing a couple that go to a resort. Maybe they're like urban explorers, maybe. I like urban explorers. I like watching urban explorers. The proper people on YouTube, they go into places like dilapidated buildings and stuff, and they record it. And sometimes you're kind of like, guys, there's not only mold in there, but there's probably asbestos too in some of these places they go into. The Resort. Interesting. Keep my eye out for that. First look at Industry Season 2. I don't know what that is. First look at the Industry. Okay. Industry. A new trailer for Bros has been released. Bros. What is that? I don't even know what the heck that is. Wasn't in my feed. Hacks is for a new season. Oscar Isaac and Elvira Lynn's production company, Mad Green Media, signed a first look deal with Endeavor Content. Oh, so Oscar Isaac is going to be a producer and stuff too. Cool. The team plans to develop documentaries, feature films, TV series, and graphic novels, plays, and podcasts. So he's wetting his beak and everything. Good for you, Oscar Isaac. Can't go wrong with that. Christopher Schober in the live chat says, do you think that they will have the Luke Skywalker boy in season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Well, if they continue on with that story, yeah, for sure. And I hope they do. If they bring back Luke, of course, then they would have to bring back Owen Lars, Joel Edgerton, which we didn't get to see enough of, because seeing his interactions with Obi-Wan, like telling him to stay away, that was so cool. Speaking of which, we didn't see Beru yet, and she was listed in the cast. So we saw Owen in the first episode, so maybe we'll see Beru in the episode 6 next week. But yeah, I would love to see more young Luke. Because I think they're kind of going to close off the story with young Leia in this season. So I hope that there's a season 2 for sure. My Policeman, starring Harry Styles, in theaters October 21st. Yeah, we saw that. First look at Hugh Jackman. Cool. In Florence Zeller's The Sun. Also Vanessa Kirby and Laura Dern star in it. Can't go wrong with Hugh Jackman. He's always awesome. Ana de Armas as Marilyn. Yes, we've seen these images. She looks great. That one. And you'll have to forgive me for freeze framing the trailer of her butt. It was an honest mistake, but I'm sure that some people, will like that. The runtime is 2 hours and 46 minutes for this blonde movie. Ooh, so just under 3 hours. That's going to be a lengthy watch, but it's going to be on Netflix, so we'll have our time to watch it. They got some comparison photos there. So there's Anna, there's Marilyn. Ooh, that's cool. We didn't see those, guys? Getting dressed. Yeah, that's cool that somebody did this. They put up the comparisons. That's why we go on Twitter, guys, to see if there's little things that we miss. And it's a 24-hour news cycle, guys. You know that. If I miss something today, it'll be up tomorrow. And yeah, that was cool. Like that blonde trailer is probably my favorite story of the day. It was cool. Batman Begins was 17 years ago today. Euphoria, 3 years ago. New clip from Austin Butler's as Elvis. Jailhouse Rock. That's a track that I'm going to be looking forward to hearing. So he's going to be doing it there. Cool. Happy birthday to iconic Courtney Cox. So yesterday. So that was yesterday. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. Belated happy birthday to Courtney Cox. Okay. Well, guys, I think that's about it for today. Yeah, that brings us up to just under the hour. Dakota Fanning to reunite with Denzel. Yeah, that's cool. And she's become a very attractive person. It's hard to believe it because I still think of her as like that young girl in War of the Worlds. Yeah. So it's hard. People grow up, James. Let's see. Peyton List. Mr. Malcolm's list. What's this? New character posters. Mr. Malcolm's list featuring Theo James and Oliver Jackson Cohen. What's this? Theo James. Mr. Malcolm's list. I'm catching up with Downton Abbey, and he had like a small role in Downton Abbey first season, I think, where he has an affair with Lady Mary and has a heart attack and dies in bed. Theo James is always fun though. I don't give him enough credit. He's a good actor. Christopher Schober says, do you think Amber Heard will be in Aquaman 2 movie? Well, we talked about that yesterday too. And yes, I do think that she's in it for 25 minutes. The only thing that she's a big part of Aquaman 2, so we can talk about that again too. Whoops. I think it was reported that she's got about 25 minutes of screen time. And I know that there's that hashtag boycott Aquaman 2, but the situation is that while the studio executives didn't want her to be in the movie, like before they even began shooting, Jason Momoa and James Wan went to bat for her to be in the movie. But now that everything's come out, it'll be easier for me to watch her in Aquaman 2 than it will be for me to watch Ezra Miller in The Flash. Because Ezra Miller has done far worse stuff than what she's done. I mean, come on. It was a toxic relationship. They abused each other. And if you're on the page where that if you have trouble looking at her, then just don't go see the movie. Tell the studios with your pocketbook. But for me, I think for the most part that this will be her last big moments on the big stage. She'll have to go back because these cases. Her appeal's got to go up. Then she's got to do her counter claim on her. So this on Johnny. So this is going to be going on for years. And it's just going to be dragging both of them through the mud. But it looks like Johnny's going to come out of this being okay. I don't think that she will. But yeah, that's where I stand with her. Is that it's still going to be weird watching her. But because Aquaman is such a big movie, I do movie news here, guys. And I do movie reviews. So March 17th next year, it will be awkward, even as more facts come to light. But it won't be as awkward as watching Ezra Miller. That's where I weigh in. Artglass says, Vikings in the live chat says, Theo James was good in the Divergence movies as well. Yeah, let's take a look at his resume. Let's take a look at his resume because we got time. And I kind of harped on him a little bit when for the Divergent movies. Because he was just kind of like the love interest, right? With Shailene Woodley, who doesn't work enough. She's actually getting more involved with, like Oscar Isaac, behind the scenes, producing stuff. So that's good. So he's going to be in Mr. Malcolm's List that we saw those character posters for. Let's take a look at what that's about, because I don't know what that is. Mr. Malcolm's List. Oh, they got a trailer out for it. Coming July 1st. Really? A young woman courts a mysterious wealthy suitor in the 19th century. Okay. Well, it's got Theo James, Ashley Park, Zawe Ashton, Frida Pinto, Oliver Jackson Cohen. We know him from Bly Manor and Hill House, Haunting of Hill House. He's a good actor, too. Cool. Yeah. Be checking that out. Mr. Malcolm's List.
Tonight is the night.
Oh, so it's going to be on Apple. Whoops. Cool.
Do you have
All right. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. All right, guys, it's 1:02. I think we've run through pretty much cool stories for today. I'm not going to jam because the air conditioning's on, and I would love to someday get kind of like one of those microphone covers so that I can turn the fan like this, but you guys will hear the fan sound if I turn it like that. It is what it is, guys. It's summertime here, so it's hot. It's hot, and yeah, I'll just give you guys a sample of what it looks like outside. It's feels like 39 with high humidity. Yeah, because it does feel like one of those houses where you grow tomatoes. But that's southern Ontario for you guys, because we're near the lakes, high water table, lots of moisture in the air, so it's not a dry heat. Christopher Schober says, I can't wait for Scream 6 and see what they got up their sleeve for the locations in New York. Yeah, that's true too, Christopher. Good point. Scream 6 is going to be taking place in New York, and that'll open the door for very interesting settings to take place for fans of New York. It should be interesting to see Ghostface in New York. Yeah. Courtney Cox is back for that. Jenna Ortega, Hayden Panettiere, Melissa Barrera. Yep, New York. That'll be cool to see, for sure. But this is why I like talking with you guys in the live chat. And thank you for joining me in the live chat. I can't say that enough. It's always fun interacting with you guys. And what's good about it right now is that we're kind of a small audience. So I'm able to address everybody's comments. When it comes to the day that I can't respond to all the comments, then I'll do separate videos on the side where we'll talk about everybody's questions and comments and topics. Because when we do stuff like that, talking about Scream and Theo James and looking at that's the real fun. That's interaction. And that's cool. But that's the way that it's been today, guys, in the realm of movie and entertainment news. You're watching Mirror Domains, your place for entertainment headlines. See you tomorrow.